Gary, let's start talking about the new arrival, Jordan Clark. What will he bring to your team?
Well, he brings a bit of pace. He brings a fresh face. I felt we needed to do that, and we're still trying to do that. And he's a right back in my opinion, but he can also play as a centre back, because although he's not a 6'4" by any stretch of the imagination, he can play that role if he was up against a couple of whippets, if you like, because he is quick and he does read the game well. And he's been a sort of like a bit of a breath of fresh air because of that newness, really. And he's looked decent in training, so he's looked like he wants to give it a right go, and that's good.
Yeah, and only 22, but he's got 100 starts under his belt as well.
He has.
So experienced.
Yeah, he's had a good career, many games. I know he's been at Coventry since he was 8, and sometimes when you're at a place a long time, people sometimes still see you as a young player, whereas at 22 with that many games, he's you would class him as an experienced player now as far as the matches that he's played. So yeah, it worked out well. Both parties. I know Stephen Presley very well, and we had a chat, and we just felt it would be good for everybody to do what we did.
Yeah, but not similar players, are they? Totally different kind of players in terms of Aaron Martin going out and.
Yeah, well, if you're not planning on playing your player, and for whatever reason Coventry wasn't planning on playing their player, then they may need that little break and go somewhere where they will be playing, and that will benefit both sides anyway in the sort of longer term future. But in the short term, it just gives both clubs a bit of a fresh face, which I think probably we both agree we need at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you said it's a difficult time for you at the moment. Have you this week, training wise, has anything happened to cheer you up a little bit?
That question. Yeah, there's always things that you can't dwell on it all week, but you can't be life and soul of the party all week either, because it hurts us. It means something to us, and it means something to the players, and me, Terry and Darren as a staff, and Gareth, we have to work on our sessions. We have to look at what we think is not going well, and then enhance what we think is going well. But the problem we got at the moment, which is glaring, is that we're creating 1 or 2 chances early before the opposition score their early goal, and that is it shouldn't, but it's losing our team's confidence pretty early in the game, because week after week we're not getting that opening goal from that opening chance. The one we did against Swindon, of course, where we scored first, and obviously that was a good game because the lads kept going. But we've got to try and change it so that if it is 1-0 down, that we've got to keep our confidence, keep our pecker up. But because it's been happening several times, the lads are just losing their confidence, and we have to work out who or why we're not scoring that early goal, and why or who it is that's costing us, making that mistake early on that is costing us in games, and we're trying to eradicate that.
Yeah, and Chesterfield next up, of course. They're not in a great run of form themselves, are they? 5 games without a win now, so I guess, does that give you sort of a little bit of confidence going into that game?
Well, it's about what you're doing at the moment, and you've got to know what the opposition's strengths and weaknesses are, as we always say. But it's about us getting a confidence back, getting our running back, and just basically that will to win that's got to be there. And when you've lost a few games, it's a little bit harder to get it back. And the next win for both of the clubs, us and Chesterfield, is massive. It is vital for the next month or so, because it's wins that give you that confidence.
Yeah. Do you think they're a better side than their league position suggests? I mean, he started the season well, didn't they?
Yeah, they were right up there, and they've certainly got a game that most teams are sort of trying to play in a shape and a specific tactic, and you've got to make sure that you don't go somewhere and and not perform, because every team in this league is capable of beating you if you're not performing. But on the reverse of that, if you are performing, as we've shown when we have performed, any team can beat any other team on their day. So it's just getting that consistency, and you know, players are at this level sometimes because of that inconsistency, sometimes because they're young or inexperienced, or because they're not quite fit enough because your squad's not big enough where you can leave somebody out to work hard for a couple of weeks. If our sort of starting 12, 13, 14 players become fit from injury, we've got to play them in the team generally, and often they're not quite got that match fitness and sharpness. So, you know, I'm looking forward to the day when we've got a settled team, we've had a couple of results, and we can pick that team and they get fitter, stronger, more aware of each other. We haven't had that yet. That's not an excuse, by the way. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, and an advantage, you think, from a Yeovil point of view, that they had a game midweek and lost, was it 3-0 to Swindon?
Well, it might be. I mean, it's no. There's a lot of teams getting beat by Swindon, and you know, we had to play particularly well against them to make sure that their quality didn't come through, and it's obviously come through against Chesterfield, and that's been part of their losing run. So they're going to be looking for a win. I should think they'll see us and our form at the moment as a possible 3 points. We've got to see that the other way. Now all me and Paul Cook can do is prepare our team as best we can, get them out there and see who does the business.
Yeah, and what about the new stadium of theirs? Have you been there before?
I have, yeah. I've been there a couple of times. It's a nice stadium, very nice, comfortable, fresh, new. They got it just at the right time with the promotion. Obviously, with them starting the season well as well. No, it's a nice atmosphere, and it's probably just the right size for that size of club. And yeah, it's something that probably later on in the future it'd look nice for us to have a stadium pretty similar. So people should have a look around that stadium and think, yeah, that'd be nice if we ever develop.
Good luck, Gary. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Gary, I know you're in league mode at the moment, but we had the FA Cup draw this week.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on Crawley?
Well, it's one of them, you say it's always nice to get a home draw.
Yeah.
You say as least as possible, because there's obviously better teams, as in teams that you'd rather have played, of course. I never like really playing the same team or a team in our league, especially one that you've already played and going to play later. But when it comes round, it becomes very important. You know, for a club like ours, we need to get through a couple of rounds and see if we can't, help the coffers by getting a big game somewhere along the line. But the good thing is we know about them. We've played them. We've assessed them previously. We know what they got, what they haven't got, and as I say, it's at home, so it's going to be an important competition this year for the club.